Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam.
So namaste, saram everyone. Today my guest Paul Callaghan, and I am Dubyansky at the moment in India, South India, and Paul in New York. So hi Paul, namaste.
Everybody, hi.
So okay, we continue our videos on two very influential and very interesting traditions, that's Sivananda Yoga and the tradition of Sathya Sai. Okay, Paul Callaghan is the Sivananda Yoga meditation master, and I was fortunate enough to spend many years in Sathya Sai ashram. So I was his translator for the Russian-speaking groups, and recently published 3 of my books with the memories about Sathya Sai. And it's very sweet and easy for us to speak about these two traditions because, actually Sathya Sai met Sivananda Swami in Rishikesh, so very natural for us to speak about both of them together. And today's topic is actually, must we? And if we must, for what? To study, to read ancient scriptures. And of course, we'll discuss this huge question for the modern people in the light of Sivananda Yoga and Sathya Sai tradition, and of course, Kriya Yoga meditation as well. So when I mean ancient scriptures, I mean any ancient scriptures. For example, Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads or Christian Bible or maybe Holy Quran or maybe Buddhist scriptures, any kind of ancient scriptures. So what do you think, Paul, or what Sivananda Yoga tradition tells us about, is it really necessary to read books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years old?
Yeah, it's a few moments in here. It depends of situation. Like in general, of course, it's our roots, it's our energy, especially. So we're connecting through these books to ancient, saint people, to God. It's part of God also, actually, in the form of the books, I would say. So even if we don't understand sometimes what it's there, like if it's really ancient, 4,000 or 5,000 years old, books, but sometimes even if you hold it in your hands, even if you read in it and you understand, it's kind of meditation, it's kind of connection with this necessary, absolutely necessary energy for sadhana, for spiritual growth. That's the one moment. And of course, I wanted to say also about Vedanta. It's Vedanta, it means it's Upanishads and more not that ancients, let's say Rig Veda or something. It's more closer to our reality, in a way. So this Vedanta scriptures and holy books, I would say, of course we should read it, but each holy book, each ancient book, reading or exist for certain period of time, for yoga, let's say, for certain period of time, so it's better to read, from my point of view, like for today, it's Vedanta. Like it's the last part of Vedic culture books. Like let's put it that way. And another thing, of course, it's better to read it with real good teacher, with a real good guru, or with the comments of this book from like really saint people, like truly saint people, like who otherwise it's gonna be, even if you're really smart, it's more meditative thing, like it's very hard to understand. It's like poetry, like most of them was written like poetry, like shlokas. So it's very hard to understand it like only with the logic way. So and it was different energy. So 1,000 years ago, and people were a little bit different also, different atmosphere and reality. So and I want to thank actually the teachers from your tradition, from like I'm not separating traditions, but in a way like Yogananda, like and from my tradition Sivananda, they did, I think, like amazing like thing like for us, like they did comments for the holy books that we can understand it today. Without it, it would be, for me, almost impossible. Like maybe some parts I would understand, but in general, it could be really hard. But Yogananda and many other teachers from Kriya Yoga and Shivananda and his students, they did comments, like a lot of comments on many holy books. Yeah, not only from Vedic culture. So if you have really good guru or the book with the comments like that, they're very high level, and you know basics, it's very important also. If you don't know nothing about it, it's gonna be very hard. You should know culture a little bit. You should practice before, like in a very simple level, I would say, before that. But yeah, we should. But yeah, I would not go to the like fanatical and like some in some way, like in too much. Let's say absolutely without these scriptures, it's gonna be kind of energy emptiness, like no connection to God.
Yeah.
And yeah, and but if we're gonna do exactly what it's written in there, it's kind of impossible to sometimes to apply to our life in here, in what like very like a lot of the moments, and the teachers teaching us like to apply it like to life, like, but it's still very hard. Golden middle, it's the best way to do. Like we should read it, but we should also apply it to like to reality we live in. Like yeah, sometimes people like absolutely don't like don't pay any attention on these holy books, and they don't have roots. It's like a tree without roots, just a lot of beautiful leaves, beautiful like colors, beautiful flowers, but the first wind, it's gone, no roots.
Yes, absolutely. And just exactly, let me continue your point that suppose you can purchase a number of wonderful books which, okay, published just recently. Okay, that's wonderful. But suppose if you keep in your hands some books which are, millenniums and millenniums and millenniums old, very ancient scriptures, the time is the proof. Suppose we have, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of books written in 20th and 21st century, but who knows what will happen with all that teachings and books in a few years, and if you know, like maybe it will be not proven true. But if you read, it's exactly what you told about roots. If you read, like especially ancient Vedic scriptures or Bible, for example, Buddhist scriptures, that's roots. Time is the proof that if these scriptures exist and inspire practitioners, spiritual seekers for centuries and centuries, it means something is there, better to pay attention. And let me say that if we take huge number of books with the divine discourses by Sri Sathya Sai Baba, we can see that the basic foundation even for Sathya Sai philosophy was not just his ideas, let us say, but the strong foundation, first of all, in Bhagavad Gita teaching, and also Bhagavatam, Ramayana, and Upanishads. So even teaching such a masters like Sathya Sai, the divine incarnation of our age, and Swami Sivananda, it's like a strong foundation. That's amazing. And of course, both masters whom we actually we are speaking not about two but three traditions, Sathya Sai, Sivananda, and Kriya Yoga, Yogananda, and all that masters, they combine many scriptures from many different religions. That's also very important. It's like we have, of course, most of the divine discourses by Sathya Sai was about Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, but we have a few dozens of divine discourses, lectures about Jesus and New Testament teaching. So it means modern great masters, they combine, like they show unity in all that scriptures. And I think that it's very important for us to pay attention, not only to learn, to study different scriptures, but see unity. That's exactly what you mean, I think, like about, okay, fanatical approach, a golden, middle approach here, but it's unity. And it's amazing when we, a few generations back, people didn't understand it properly, actually. And for the modern spiritual practitioners, it's obvious. We read Vedic scriptures, Bible, Buddhist scriptures, and we see oneness, unity of the message, but in a different terminology, with a different, slightly different approaches, but the unity of the most fundamental things. And of course, very important question is how to apply. And then again, let me continue your point about commentaries, which is extremely important. And of course, actually, all divine discourses given by Sathya Sai is actually great commentaries, less in traditional way, because Swami Sivananda, he was like publishing his commentaries, for example, like the different Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita in a more traditional way, and his disciples from Rishikesh Ashram, they published a lot of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, for example, commentaries in a more traditional way, when we have a shloka and then explanation, shloka and then explanation. Sathya Sai approach was slightly different. It was like more flexible, more like freestyle, but also that's commentaries exactly how to apply this ancient wisdom, ancient philosophy to the everyday modern life. And that's really amazing. And I think that of course, Sivananda Swami was like more Himalayan monk, okay, but actually socially proactive, very much, as we know. And Sathya Sai, maybe he was like more connected with society. And we can see that all that ancient scriptures, especially Vedic, they deal with meditation stuff, and also with how to build society and community. Because some people quite often think that okay, like Bible or Upanishads, that's like, for the cave yogis or Christian monks or Hindu monks. No, it's like foundation for our like all aspects of social life, including family and yeah, and many other things. But of course, again, today, you are obviously leading, and I'm just continue your points that to understand it, we have to meditate, because only through the logic, it's may create more professors, yeah, religious professors, but less yogis, less saints, because saints of all religions, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, whatever tradition we can take, Sufi, for example, Kabbalah, it's first of all mystical experience and meditation. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Can you say something something else about importance, yeah, to study and apply ancient wisdom?
Yeah, one moment. Yeah, I just wanted to say it's about sometimes, like for today, it's I was talking about roots, and another point we have too much like small traditions, like without roots. There are like no connection to roots, and they just maybe they have a lot of creativity and stuff like that, a lot of things. It's plenty of directions, I would say, esoteric, like modern, like or modern ways how to reach God and yourself. But many of them, they like you can feel it. It just they need rules. It's just another like extreme, I would say. Like one extreme, it's too much roots. And they try and without teacher to apply it like exactly like it's written, but it's almost impossible. You need a teacher, like exactly how to apply it to this like period of time, like you said also. And another like extreme, it's they like many teachers or seekers here for knowledge, they're trying to do too much their things, like too much tricks, like practices, but they're not based on this like experience which went through centuries. So and it's kind of sometimes it's working for a while. Sometimes I'm not saying it's bad to be creative and to try something different, like but it's another like yeah, it's very difficult to without these roots to reach something, like because but many people trying. That's the point I wanted to say. Like for people who like if you will go to internet, let's say, it's gonna be plenty of different kind of new schools, like new directions, and I'm not saying it's bad, but it's another extreme. Like I said, it's in many of them absolutely no rules. Like
yeah, and I can say that for some beginners it can be cool, nice to start with just something simple, but as quick as possible, better to grow and then exactly to create, to establish these roots. Yeah, that's really a wonderful idea about roots.
Yeah, sometimes they try to create something, but like I would say, to build the house like without base, that's kind of like that. It could be very beautiful and big, but it's not stable. It's not like it's kind of maybe it's beautiful, maybe it's for a while, for someone it's gonna be good, but if it's no base, if it's not good base for the house, like for the building, it's gonna fall anyway. So, and it's what we see, like these traditions, what we have roots in, like they went through thousand of years, and this kind of like many modern small like tradition. Some of them live one day, some of them they live for a year, like for 2 years, for 1 month, for 10 years. But but then it's gone because it's it's no roots. It's not like they can't survive, I would say.
And also, not only the question for them to survive, but the question what may happen with the practitioners. You know, if like some way of meditation or just spiritual path which is proven by centuries and centuries, that's one story. But if somebody just experimenting with your life, oh my God, yeah. So like that's the roots. We need also to be sure that which direction we just actually travel and what kind of results we are going to expect. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of you don't have to sometimes to open something for you what it was open already like many times and proven. Like you don't you don't have to spend time on that. You can spend all your life on it, and it's
and discover something which is already in the book.
That's that's another point. It's kind of sometimes it's pretty stupid. Like
yeah, that's also one more reason to study ancient scriptures. Okay, Paul, so thank you very much for your wisdom, for your experience, for sharing with us. So okay, God bless for sure all of us, and see you next time. Saram Namaste.
Namaste.
Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayantam